and welcome to Pulse of Culture. I'm Staria Strzemska. The summer is in full swing, so in this episode we explore various ways to deal with scorching heat. When the city starts to feel suffocating, a lot of people in Warsaw head to community gardens like this one in Czerniaków, not just to cool off in the shade, but to grow their own food as well.
When the summer heat hits and the city grows stifling, many in Warsaw escape to community gardens like this one in the neighborhood of Czerniaków, not just for shade, but to grow their own food. Sometimes all it takes is a short walk to find yourself in a sanctuary of slow life.
Technically, community gardens are kind of a relic of socialism in terms of the legal part of it, but at the same time they're like amazing space where people realize their own passions. The whole idea was to stay close to nature, which is not technically doable if you're living on a 10th floor in the city.
Established in communist Poland and initially intended for urban, working-class families, particularly industrial workers, these small plots offer more than food. They also provide a space to unwind.
My wife passed away recently. This garden is my getaway. I've been coming here for the past 3 years and I can't imagine any other life. I grow cucumbers, tomatoes, various flowers, for my own use and for my friends. Everyone's welcome.
There is community in the community gardens for a reason. Elder members like Władysław, age 96, are cornerstones of these horticultural spaces, sharing gardening mastery, but also teaching a lesson in motivation and positivity.
At my age, I'm not popular with the ladies anymore. Now these are my loves. Can you see the yellow one, the pretty one? That lass's calla. Those tomatoes over there, my grandson brought them. Thought they were raspberry tomatoes. Turns out they're ox hearts. My gardening disciple gave me the real raspberry ones. Now he has surpassed his master. He grew a 1.4 kilogram tomato, while mine weighed only 760 grams.
But as the urban sprawl continues, the existence of Warsaw's some 150 community gardens is at stake.
There is a non-zero probability that a lot of those gardens will be taken over by developers to basically build brand new apartment buildings, blocks, and just cover everything with the concrete. We are fighting back.
Whether a community garden survives unscathed depends on its inclusion in Warsaw's zoning plan. And that's a pickle.
I hope that the zoning plan, which is supposed to be approved next year, will include our area as a green zone and that we will continue to enjoy the benefits of these allotments.
The city has been conducting public consultations and encouraging allotment holders to submit their comments on the general zoning plan. Warsaw authorities have overhauled an initial, much less inclusive draft plan so that more community gardens are secured in the final version. But until next year, when the plan is scheduled to be implemented, the allotment holders' plan of plans is to enjoy as much as they can of their plots, nature, and one another's company.
Matcha is really having a moment in Poland. Cafes all over are serving up matcha lattes and desserts, and it looks like the trend is only going to grow. People here are loving the Japanese drink for its health perks, the bold flavor, and let's be honest, it looks great on Instagram.
From China to Japan and now to Poland. Matcha continues its ages-long migration, infusing a peculiar mindset into its consumers.
In Japan, it is a very important part of the local tradition, and it's about Japan aesthetics, it's about philosophy, also about spirituality. It's about meditation, about taste, about the atmosphere of a gathering. It's about focusing on small things.
Meanwhile, in Poland,
Matcha is a great combination of the Japanese tradition with the, let's say, European slow life. Talk about green color, then green color, it's also important for us in terms of the green energy, green environment, and everything that is like organic and healthy.
For me, matcha means health. It tastes like I drink nature.
the deep green color of matcha has made the drink ultra Instagrammable, turning matcha hangouts into a competition for who slays the hardest. This is why teens and young adults, the largest matcha consumer group in Poland, want flamboyant flavors and, more importantly, wild colors.
I'm having vanilla sea salt matcha latte, peach puree oat milk matcha, and it's also really good.
And Polish Zoomers' top treat? Strawberry matcha. Demand is high, and new matcha cafes, called maczarnias in Polish, are mushrooming all over Warsaw.
We opened this matcha app like 3 or 4 weeks ago. Also, there's a lot of matcha place in Warsaw, but a lot of matcha cafe is quite similar. I believe that I can do better, and then I can provide something new, something better. So our best selling and differentiation point from the others is we make almost 100% rice syrup. We use it as a concentrate syrup to make our drink sweeter for people who like sweet taste.
While in Japan, matcha is about slowing down the traditional meditative way, in Poland, young people use the green beverage to virtue signal a slow life, a virtue undone by the social media stampede and fierce market competition.
And on a more traditional note, we've got ice cream. Poland has a long tradition with the treat, dating back to the early 20th century when small family-run shops began popping up across towns and cities. Matthew Jastrzębski has the story.
Ice cream, you scream. We all scream for Polish ice cream. It all started in the 17th century when Polish royalty and aristocracy took over the fad from France and Italy. Over the centuries, it trickled down to other strata. Here you can see one of the top Polish interwar generals, Bolesław Wieniawa-Długoszowski, enjoying his scoops in the 1930s. Post-World War II, the communist regime brought about intense centralized industrialization of Poland, which allowed for mass production of ice cream. The most popular ice cream shop at the time? It belonged to the Zielona Budka company and was located in Warsaw at 11 Puławska Street. Communism fell in 1989, but the capitalist thaw did not affect the ice cream business. Quite the contrary, it paved the way for the birth of a true monster. The world's largest ice cream bar on a stick. Made by Polish company Augusto and presented in the Polish city of Kalisz in 1994, the behemoth made it to the Guinness World Record book. Then, in early 2000s, a Polish femme fatale pop star brought the business to melting temperatures.
When I was a kid, the most famous ice creams were from Coral, and I think even Doda in one season, they earned so much money that they could afford Doda.
In 2025, people are still going nuts about Polish ice creams.
I'm having pistachio and lavender. Lavender, the taste is magnificent.
2 scoops, usually cream-based, for instance salted caramel or cookie flavor.
Czy też ciasteczkowe.
It is red orange. I think I never tried it and it's very good, I think.
Aside from the flavor galore, it is quality that makes Polish ice cream worth the lick.
Personally, I find Polish ice cream very different because I have an intolerance to many dairy products, but here in Poland I can eat anything. So any type of ice cream or sorbet I've been enjoying every day that I've been here.
Same, it's amazing. Milk in the US, my stomach cannot tolerate.
And now for the X Factor, childhood nostalgia.
I think that ice cream business is something that makes people feel like children again. When they are choosing flavors, it's something really fascinating and something really charming.
And now, traditionally, it's time for Culture Beats. We begin here in Warsaw, where Urban Art Area exhibition is transforming a symbol of Soviet power, the Palace of Culture and Science, into a space for creative freedom.
The 5th Urban Art Area, organized by Leonardo Gallery, has crossed the threshold, bringing street art indoors for the first time. Murals, stencils and installations now pose beneath chandeliers inside the Palace of Culture and Science in Warsaw. Marking the palace's 70th anniversary, this year's edition transforms its historic interiors into a bold arena for Poland's brightest street artists, recognized both locally and abroad.
Many works by our artists can be found in some of the world's finest museums. For example, Nesbun's pieces are on display at the Louvre.
And what was once seen by some as vandalism is now a recognized pursuit. Today, 3 major Polish art schools offer full street art programs, shaping a new generation of formally trained urban artists. With over 50 artists on show, the exhibition isn't just a feast for the eyes, it's a sharp signal to collectors. Polish street art has become a serious investment, and the exhibition curator has this advice to the collectors.
I always say that the first thing that you should think when you're buying art, just buy things that you just love, like, and you want to live with them.
From workshops and panels to screenings and creative labs, Urban Art Area is as much about learning as it is about looking. The exhibition runs until August 3rd. Don't miss this rare moment of street art inside a palace and a country claiming its place on the global urban art map.
If you're into music that's a little off the beaten path, our festival is where it's at. Every year it brings together a wild mix of indie, experimental and alternative acts in one of the coolest settings in Poland. It's not just about the music, it's the vibe, the people and the feeling that you're part of something real. For cinephiles out there, this year's edition of the Dwa Brzegi Festival kicked off on July 26th. Since its first edition, this interdisciplinary festival in Kazimierz Dolny and Janowiec nad Wisłą has been known for its unconventional approach to cinematic art, combining film with literature, music and visual art. The event runs until August 3rd. And we conclude with heartbreaking news for the fans of heavy metal. Ozzy Osbourne, the charismatic frontman of Black Sabbath, also called the Prince of Darkness by his fans, has died at the age of 76. Just a few weeks earlier, Osbourne delivered a farewell performance with his bandmates. So let's conclude this episode of Pulse of Culture with one of Ozzy's iconic songs, Dreamer.
Gazing through the window at the world outside, wondering will Mother